back to Prison Architect. So, yeah, it's been a long time since I played this game. I can't even remember the controls. However, drugs, yeah, something like that. One thing I found straight away, before I've even started looking, is, ooh, someone's trying to escape. It's almost like it's a prison that we're trying to keep them in or something. Okay, let's see. Walls and doors, not demolished doors. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun in games, trying to find all the stuff that I need. Remove tunnels, there we go. Let's just remove them all in there, that'd be great. And, okay, so, last time was a long time ago. We did something to do with parole, we did something to do with visitation. We finally got these guys making beds. While I'm still talking, I mean, I know I've got 67 grand, but, you know, it's going up, so let's leave it going, as long as there's not anything chaotic. The danger's quite low, so that's good. I can't remember when we last did shakedown, but I can work that out at some point. Oh, someone getting tasered. Lots of things happening in the prison today. Oh. Okay, so yeah, we have checked that. There doesn't seem to be any cells that aren't cells currently. There do seem to be one or two things that I wanted to just kind of knock out, because, you know, they're probably annoying people. That includes lights. For some peculiar reason, this basketball trainer's place has no lights, which is a bit cruel. I'm sure if that was me, I would probably think people were like hazing me or something. Hazing is such an American word. I don't know why I decided to use hazing there. I must have watched something recently that had hazing in it. Thought I'd better light up the corridors round about. That would be called max security. And the reason I decided to do that was because it's max security. And it would be real silly to have dark areas in max security. I don't know if that's just me, but I certainly feel that way. So, given that they're only 30 bucks, 30 bucks a light is an expensive light. And oh, of course it is, because, you know, why would the lights overpower the power? Okay, well, it's not a game of Prison Architect with me without everything going horribly wrong. So, utilities. All the doors are down, water pumps down, everything. No, water pump still flows, that's fine. Because Daphne overpowered the power station. Okay, so that power goes up there. Let's find out, how far across does it go? It goes all the way across to here. Is there any way I could... where's this power one? It's still off max, so, I mean, this seems like a really sensible way to cut it, which I've done, because I'm, you know, sensible. I'm not really. And water also seems like an issue, or is that just because it doesn't have any power now? Yeah, that's because it doesn't have any power. Okay. Okay, let's cut off some stuff down here and put it on a separate grid. So, I'm guessing that power comes from... Yeah, okay, so that power comes from there. So let's go in and dismantle some power. Let's do... dismantle utility. Let's do these three getting dismantled, and then let's put a new power station. We have plenty of things. We have plenty of money, so a 5 grand station isn't going to be a big deal. Need to power that one in, and then we need to fill this one with capacitors, which are expensive, and I always forget they're £1,000 each. But yeah, I mean, we've only done 16,000, so it's not a massive deal. So I've cut off that section, so that needs to be powered by something that goes... Oh, no. There we go. So that can power all that, and then we need to dismantle... let's just dismantle it here. So that should cut off. And so basically this power station here should be able to power this section out into here. There's probably still a connection. Yeah, there's still many connections here. Okay, so let's take out this connection and this connection. Okay, let's see what happens. And the guys come out to do these ones. Okay, that dismantle's done. Really need to dismantle these ones, gentlemen. I know you're stuck against the door. Okay, so now I should, in theory, if I do that, be able to turn this one back on. Switch on. And we got some of it back. Okay, and it's cut off quite a lot of power usage, so that's fine. These guys are probably going to get grumpy because they're all big dudes, but we shall hopefully get some light. Okay, yep. And there we go. Okay. Well, that went horribly. So yeah, welcome back to Prison Architect. Ta-da! I was only adding some light. Oh, what was that? It was like, okay, let's just do a shakedown because I'm already freaking out. So shakedown at 6 AM is never a good time to start, but whatever. We'll just do a shakedown, and then that way I'll be happier. They were all happy anyway, so 2 escapees. Well, I guess that proves that I should have done a shakedown earlier. And we're going to find probably some tunnels out, but I have no idea what's going on or how people are getting out, so, you know, nothing really I can do with that. I'm sure I can probably slow that down later and find out how they got out, but that's incredibly frustrating. Where are these guys? Prisoner bus coming in now, of course, you have to fill gaps. Yeah, how did we get escapees? Oh, visitation is going well. Okay. We still have escapees, or we still had escapees, and we still haven't found anything in a shakedown. So are all these cells are cells? Yep. All these cells are cells. All these cells are cells. I don't see anything, but obviously. So basically, they just forced their way out and walked out a door somewhere. Okay. Well, that's going well. Now I'm going to have to deaths. Oh, great. Oh dear. So I've had in the first 7 or so minutes of this game, we've had 2 escapees, 1 death, and the power go out. Well, that's eventful, I guess. Yeah, let's just run this for a bit then, and see what's going on. I did have plans, but I guess part of that is just going to be trying to calm these lovely people back down. 150 have serious complaints. Okay, let's go for and figure out what everyone's moaning about. Needs. Everyone's moaning about family. What a surprise. And everyone's moaning about freedom. But then freedom, recreation. So yeah, I need to TVs and radios and stuff like that. I can do that at some point. That's not a massive deal. Well, it is. I mean, it shows as a massive deal, but I guess this blue bar, yeah, active is the blue bar. So family is not active at all because it's not in the regime. Correct? Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to go through. Yeah, okay, we need to figure out what's actually, you know what, before we carry on with the regime, let's figure out, this door is not online, so because of that, everybody just gets bundled up there, people don't get met, etc, etc. Let's not have that on. Is that currently on open, or is that always on open? Well, that, okay, yeah. Don't lock it shut, just close. Well, that's weird. Why is it staying open? Okay, whatever. Let's get a door servo and put it on this door. And then once that gets installed, we will hook it up as well. And I'm going to have to remember and try and actually hook things up, you know, when I put them in, because all the time I end up doing silly stuff instead. There we go. So he's put this one in, which is very kind of him. And I'll do the classic thing to annoy one of my friends and make sure it's double tied into the door. Okay. So visitation now has a remote door. However, that's 4 doors that are all locked open. They're not locked open, they're just open. Why are they open? There's no reason. Why are all the doors open? Are all the doors open? Yeah. All the doors are open. I am so confused. Have I somehow locked all doors open? Open on trigger, right? And there's no one in here doing crazy things. Okay. So, why are the doors open? Lockdown. And then open. And the doors are automatically opening. Okay. Right. So we need to figure out needs in a second. And we need to figure out those two laundry things that I just noticed. But we also need to figure out why all the doors are open. Why are all the doors open? Open on trigger. Yes. Close. Close. Okay, something strange is happening. And all of my doors are open. I'm going to figure this out and come back, because I am confused. And otherwise I'm just going to spend hours trying to figure things out. Okay. Be right back. Well, hey, welcome back to 6 AM on whatever day after day 54, probably a couple of days or a day later, I don't know. But yeah, so I managed to fix the doors for what for you was, you know, a couple of seconds. For me was a good probably hour, maybe not quite that long, but yeah, it was a long time. And basically what happened was there was something wrong with all the doors, and all of the door servos were actually green. So although this one just now obviously is currently green, you can see this one is currently closed, which is good. This one's currently flickering on and off because it's being triggered by people, which is fine. In actual fact, if I slow it down, you'll see it's flicking to green and then back to red, although it doesn't seem to actually be closing, which is interesting. However, this one obviously you can see is opening when people need to, and then it should close now. And it now closes. So, yeah, for whatever reason, there was something wrong with this, or something wrong with the servos and the door control system. First, I haven't connected all of them back up. I think possibly, I'm not sure if it was related, but obviously the game used to be run by a company called Introversion. And they, I wouldn't say got rid of it, but they managed to sell it on to another company, Paradox Interactive, I think it is. And as part of that, I'm wondering if there's just been some wee bugs in moving across, and for some reason, whenever I've connected up my doors in the double way like I used to, because that was how you used to connect them originally way back when I first learnt the game. Or at least I think it was. Whether or not it was anymore, I can't remember. But when I used to do that, obviously it caused some issues, and for some reason they were all on. Now, it's interesting actually, because they seem to have gone back to that problem. Now, this one hasn't, which I know is connected. Now, I don't know if it's just because there's a lot of traffic through these doors and they're being triggered on and off, but they do seem to be flickering again. Whereas they were solid green before, and then they were closing. So I'm not entirely sure why they're not closing, but as long as this one is, that's a good start. I would hope that, yeah, see, still some issues. Anyway, hopefully we won't get too many escapees. If we do, I'm not really too worried about it. It's just a little bug that's going on. We'll figure that all out. So let's move on with whatever was going on. One of the things that there's a couple of things to note that I picked up on as I went on. I've put all these beds in the infirmary, and then I never actually made it an infirmary. So that was fun. Let's see, infirmary. You can see there that the infirmary is currently this part of the room, which is great because doctors can use that part of the room. But for some reason, the part with all the beds in it as well can't be used. And that looks like 2 infirmaries, and then there's 1. So that's now 1 big infirmary. So hopefully that'll fix. Yeah. obviously still some issues with regards to doors locking open. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to lock, I'm not going to lock this door open anymore. I'm just going to take that off and hope that it closes, and then it'll have to be opened, which is a bit of a pain. But ultimately, with these current problems that I'm having with the doors not shutting properly up here, you know, it kind of leaves me stuck, to be honest. This one is like the heroic door so far. This one is just flicking between the two, so I don't know what the difference is between this door and these doors. Let's have a look and see if the utilities can tell me. So that one's single loop. This one isn't even looped. So that door servo is working, or is closed. Okay, that one's closed because it's not on a door servo. So those ones are looping for some peculiar reason, and they're just flicking on and off. So there's something wrong with the door control system. I might actually just dismantle that door control system and replace it with a new one and see, because that's full green, which makes no sense as to why that would be fully on green. And then you can see here this door's flicking open as well. I don't know if it's just, are there too many people stationed in here and they're all flicking the button? I don't know. Right, let's fast forward that and see if this guy dismantles it, see if it makes a difference. Dismantling the door control system takes a long time, funnily enough. Let's slow this down so that I don't get quite so much noise. And objects, and we're going to put, oh look, we've got a door control system to put it back in. Let's put that back in. Okay, so he's taking it away, and then he'll have to take it all the way back. That's fine. Hopefully somebody will turn up eventually through this. A lot of manually opening and closing doors, but it is what it is. I'm not going to stick in a door servo system if it doesn't actually open and close doors. And it's just gone full green again, and although these doors are closing, but they're closing because nothing's connected up, so we need to find out a way to connect them up individually that actually works. So that's a phone tap, so that's not, that's connected. CCTV monitor's connected. Nothing is connected to the door system. So connect your remote access systems together. That makes sense. So we're going to connect that one to, let's do a not so important door that way. Now that, let's see if we come out. There's no guards. Oh, there's always guards near these. Okay, so this one's been triggered. As far as I can see, that one's been triggered remotely. And this one takes guards to get through. I think that's the case by the looks of it. If we slowed it down, we could probably see it better. It would be probably a better idea. So these guys are going to come up to the top one, and they're going to get let through. And then the door is going to... They're going to get let through. There's no guards round about. Is this door going to close? The door's going to close. Okay, and this one's not because it needs one to get through. Okay, so that is the right way to connect up doors. So we're going to have to go through this whole system again. About just connecting single doors. Now I'm going to leave this one out because I want it to be manual, so at least one of my doors is manual, so that if someone takes over the door control system, they can only do so much. Same for this one, we're going to leave that one the same, and an outdoor. I'm going to leave that one as well. And then some of these doors I can connect up to let people get into these areas. So yeah, and that I think will probably... Okay, I'll probably connect up these ones as well, because these ones allow people to get through. But I'm going to leave this one as a manual as well. Okay, so theoretically, now that that's all done and dusted, that should now not allow me to have any more issues. Theoretically. And we can get on with whatever I was getting on with before, which was fun and games. I'll leave this going at speed and just make sure that, yeah, these doors are opening and closing now. So this one stays closed, this one opens and closes on whenever they want. So yeah, that seems to be working again, which is only a mild panic and a few escapees and some deaths later on. And everybody's starting to calm down a bit again. So we can go back and look at needs and see what they're really needing. So they're really needing family, which is fine. There's only 76, but they're furious. So comfort, they're starting to use that. They're actively using that, so that should all come down. Excellent. Sleep, they're all starting to use that, but obviously I took that away from them when I did something or other. What did I do? Oh, I did a shakedown. I did 2 shakedowns in a row actually, so sleep is not really surprised that they're worried about. Now hygiene, we put in some showers down here with these ones last time round, and I think that improved some stuff, but obviously, you know, I kind of need to figure out who these 49 prisoners are that are furious about it. So hygiene, family, recreation, everything else seems to be getting there. So family is obviously part of that, is that we kind of need to have probably a couple of visitations, because we've got a massive visitation room now. So in the, it's not the regime, it is in there. Is it in the regime? Oh, I can never remember what it is. Let's just look through all the tabs to figure out where it is. Yeah, filling with minimum security, which is fine just now. Programs. Okay, here we go. So lots of prison basketball, which is great. I don't have. Is visitation a? Oh my god! Please tell me visitation isn't a schedule, is it? Scheduled thing. Oh, parole hearing. Yeah, I've got a massive amount of people moaning about that because I. Wait, I have to start parole hearing. Okay, where's the parole hearing gone? Okay, so there's 138 people in the queue. Let's start multiple Jeez. Okay. So that has filled every single one of them, I think, because they can they only do one at once? Can they seriously only do one prisoner every parole hearing? So I've got... Wait, where's this prisoner? What time is it? It is coming up for... It's about to come up for 9 AM. So 9 AM and a parole hearing... It's going to be this person that's live. And they are where? In visitation, I think. There's one of these ones going somewhere else. Oh, I'm going to have a fight. Okay. Well, he's not going to get parole there if it's active. So why are they not going to parole? So the parole people are here. But that dude is not going to parole. So it's active, but he's not going. So how do I figure out what's going on with parole? Okay, so that's something to figure out, which I can do just now. Visitation seems to be... let's see if the need's coming down a bit. Family, no, still massive. Freedom. Okay. Let's work a little bit on that parole though, because if we're running multiple paroles, it doesn't need to be this big. Oh, finally we've got a parole person. So he's liable for parole, and you get $3,000 if you get early prisoner release. Excellent. So that actually needs to be that's pointless having a room of that size, because they all need to be in individual rooms, if it are individual tabs. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to objects, and we need to dismantle objects. And we need to dismantle, 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 and dismantle. Obviously not going to dismantle that one while that person is at it. And then we're going to make individual rooms for them. Theoretically. I'm not sure if that'll work, but I'm going to guess that it will. Because why not? That's a lot of jobs. Family, phones, and a mail room. How many phones have we got? There is a mail room, but it is empty. Is no one working in that mail room? Is that what it is? 5 max jobs, no one working in it because I didn't give them the chance to. So there's lots of little pernickety things that, you know, that would be really, really helpful to know. They can't work in visitation. Can they work in basketball? No, okay. That was just confusing because it's just showing me the areas. So yeah, okay. So theoretically, someone now, when we come to work time. So what time are they in just now? They are in. It doesn't show me where we are. Oh yeah, we're in sleep time. Okay. So coming into 11 PM on day 55. I probably need to do another shakedown, but that will just enrage them. But they're all happy just now, so why not? Lol. So we'll do that early in the night, and then hopefully they'll still get some sleep. And the main thing is, I had an issue while... Ooh, see? Tunnels. This is why you get shakedowns. See, if you didn't try and escape, you wouldn't get shakedowns. So one of the things I think I've mentioned earlier on in this series is you try and keep all of your stuff central. So you try and keep your cells central, so that if they dig out, they just dig into other areas. So for example, down here where we had the problem here, he's fairly central, so you know, digging into that is not going to be as big an issue. Unfortunately, I didn't then listen to my own stupid advice, or my own sensible advice, and what happened was that some of this lot, and it wasn't this lot, some of this lot, because they're right on the edge, some of them dug straight out here, and there was a hole straight out here, so thankfully I caught it before they went out, but that's possibly where the two escaped from before. There was also another one that from this cell that went all the way out into the forestry, which is hilarious, because if I hadn't had this tiny little wall here, that would have been another problem. So, long and short is, take my own advice, and the other thing is, I think probably we'll start to, in the ye olde Donald Trumpy way, build a wall. Now I'd kind of wanted to do that from the start, but it's always money, you know, the cost is insane for these big walls. So if you see, perimeter walls are 200 per square feet. Now if let's say I go down this entire run, that's 36,000. Now sadly, that is worth it. So I don't really want to have to do perimeter walls, but if one of them's just going to run straight out this way, then, you know, we've just halved our amount, but, you know, we are making money, so it kind of makes sense. But you see, you know, we're going to have to start putting in gates, we're going to have to put in massive perimeter walls, just to keep them within here, so that if they do get out of these sections, then, you know, we don't have that issue again. So, yeah, these are going to be some massive perimeter walls, we're going to put in some gates, all sorts of things are going to be taking place here, and I'm obviously going to have to make some more money. So that was one thing. We're going to start the wall. I really hate the mention of walls now after that stupid political figure. Anyway, so you mentioned mailroom, yeah, so we need to make sure that mailroom is working, which it's not currently, but then there's no one working in anything else just now. So regime, what time are they in? They're in free time, so after we go through shower and eat and into work lockups, work/lockup, hopefully we'll start getting some action, because there is mail, which is a good start, which is annoying because we have a mailroom, we just haven't started using it. So we're getting through chow time, which, you know, having more space has definitely been beneficial for these guys. However, still, we need to make this for some. Yeah, see, this is always a fight in here, and I think maybe we need to open this up a bit more. There's a lot of fights going on in here. I need to make more space somehow. But let's see, we're into work lockup time. Oh, look at this! Finally, we have male people. Well, male people, you know what I mean. And they're starting to sort mail. Yeehaw! Excellent. Okay. So I'm not really sure. They don't seem to be doing much work, but you know what? That's fine. You know, it's certainly acceptable to start putting mail out. So that means that the mail is now working, which will hopefully bring down the family need a little bit. And the other thing that we can also do is phones. So it's funny because it says a visitation facility would be much more effective. A mailroom can also help, but add phones. So it's kind of telling me exactly what to do, and I'm just, you know, well, ignoring it really. So we had a bunch of phones, I think, because I'm quite sure I have a section that says that is a phone tap. Yeah, so there's the phone tap. So these are all the phones down here. However, they only get to use them during a certain time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bunch of phones in the common room along this wall as well. And hopefully that will slightly improve things, because obviously then they have more chance to speak to people. So radio, definitely an option. We're going to spend half an hour trying to find a phone again. There we go, phone booths. And we're going to stick phones in all the way down this wall. And will we stick in some... No, we'll just... I was kind of thinking, will I just stick some in here? But the problem I always have is the amount of people walking into certain areas. So where are they all going? They're all going into... So that's like medium security, all going into recreation there, when this is their yard. Yeah, so there's a lot of kind of places that don't really make that much sense. But that's, you know, phones in, that's a good start. So let's connect them up. Utilities, yeah, connect them. So we're going to do phone tap. I'm just going to run these phones. These phones. It's a lot of people to listen to for that one phone tap. I'm sure it's a recording, I'm sure it's not anything too bad. And you see we're back up to 54 grand already, which is nice, because, you know, once we get back up to kind of 70 again, I can do another wall, and then once we get back up to 70 again after that, we can okay, that is connected. Okay, so they are all connected, I think, as far as I can see. Yeah, I'm not sure if it needs to have like the... Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out a bit about that. Oh, I've had a death today, that's a shame. I've had a death. Who got stabbed? Oh, there was a ficht. A ficht. Yeah, that's Scottish for a fight. Okay, so yeah, we're certainly getting there, and we're getting there with needs, so that's kind of hopefully going to bring down the family section, the recreation section. Now, they do have obviously a recreation area, but I don't really have the chance to use it that much, I don't suppose, with not having that much free time. And I wonder if they spend most of that free time in the shower. Yeah. But you know what? You know, the work lockup thing, well, now that I've made the beds, isn't as big a deal, so we can just put in some free time in the middle of these. However, that might split up the programs we're running. Yeah, so that kind of ruins the carpentry apprenticeship and the education. Okay, right. Okay, let's just put that back, because that clearly is not a good idea. Maybe work free time's the best one to do. We'll do some work free time, and then so they can have free time if they don't have a job, right? Sure, that's the way it works. Okay, so let's put on fast forward again. Right, so yeah, so we've kind of we've fixed this power issue that we had. We have the other thing I mentioned in the last, well, one of the other things I mentioned in the last thing is that the morgue has to come out through here, which I don't think is very sensible. So can the morgue be brought down? Could I make an exit for the morgue? The morgue is really difficult to make an exit for. To be honest with you, I'd be just as well changing the door so that they go out through the main door rather than through visitation, because it's probably a bit harsh. Like, here's your dead friend while you're visiting your parents. And then what we're going to do is we're going to dismantle some objects. And yeah, we're going to just change them slightly. So let's zoom in the morgue, which will give me all the objects for the morgue. More slabs. Yeah, it's probably enough. I don't really want that many, to be honest, but at least the morgue looks like it's being used then, rather than people just being dragged out of the infirmary. Probably need to look at deployment as well, actually, at some point. In fact, I know I need to look at deployment. And then, where have we got? Let's see. Just checking my notes from the last one, being a efficient young man. Not young anymore, so yeah, whatever. Lighting on some cells, I think I'd kind of done the lighting here. I think I just need to watch some other lighting. Yeah, like in these ones. For some reason, there's like 2 lights in this one and none here. Oh, another fight. Yeah. Okay, so we definitely need to do something about the deployment, and we definitely need to do something about the medium security kitchen next time, or medium / maximum. And then in the meantime, let's get some lights in some of these cells just to keep someone a bit more happy, because it's a bit silly to not have lights in them, given that, you know, everybody else has lights for some reason. I'll put lights in here because I don't want them just sitting in the dark. That's cruel, much though I am a cruel person. I'm not that cruel. Although, knowing me, this is going to blow up another generator, because, you know, that's kind of what I've been doing recently, is just being... What's this power? Any bets it goes through the roof for no good reason when I start getting some of these things in. Okay, so once the lights have installed, that should be fine. I don't think there's too many more. Yeah, we need to check the quality of these cells. That's what I was going to do. So I'm just kind of jumping all over the shop today, to be honest. Let's see. Not the intelligence. Supply and demand, need to look at that at some point. Wow, that is interesting. So, from the last few days, there's, you know, been a couple of these, which is fine. So we need to look at that. Obviously, been a lot of these they've stolen out of there. That makes sense, you know. They've tried to get into this one, which again makes sense. You know, not too much going on here, and then just everything here. So staff rooms galore. For some reason, they've found an issue with those. Interesting. Last 24 hours, lots of problems with in front of the library. I should definitely use this tool more often. Stolen from. Now that's interesting. Found it. Wow, you can literally track each individual. That's so... Wow, that's massively intelligent. Look at that. That lighter was just everywhere. Look at that. Found, hidden, traded. That is rather impressive. That lighter originally came in up here somewhere. Found in the... Yeah, wow. Okay. That is definitely something I can take a look into at some point, is the intelligence. In the meantime, these gentlemen still don't have any lights in their cells, so I should probably do something about that. Well, these aren't the ones I just did, but whatever. Okay, lighten up those sections a bit more. And the same again here. Just don't really want to have dark hallways. It seems a bit, you know, stupid, given that I'm trying to run a prison. Okay. So, yeah, we've kind of got around to the mark that I would normally stop. So I'm just gonna stop up at that, and the next one, hopefully, we can continue putting this wall up. We can put in probably some guard towers and some gates and things like that. Just increase that security a bit more so that we don't have any other occasions where we have these Muppets managing to get out. And then we also need to go back and fix parole, which we've kind of started today, but we didn't really get to. So yeah, long and short is, thank you very much for putting up with my craziness today, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Cheers, bye bye.